Greetings, Dr. Daddy here. The following is a combination of a doc as well as a mockumentary, a story of grand illusions and not so delusions. Creating Too Hard to Swallow was not specifically designed to publicly crucify the greasy culinary culprits or even to dispel the repercussions we all fear in returning a dish not prepared to our exact satisfaction. But simply put, it's all about the true art of eating smart, the key to imbibing wisely and continuing to fuel the fire of that burning desire we lust for in the sweet tastes of live music. Sadly, these ingredients by themselves cannot be prepared properly without blending in the true inner workings of an industry corrupt, cruel, and condescending. To be humbled by its stealth-like ability in correcting its fatalistic flaws, the absolute power in punishing the unprofessionals, and to systematically bankrupt those bereft of skills in surviving an unforgiving system, since truly, only the strong do survive.
These slightly embellished truisms were witnessed through the bloodshot eyes of a carnivorous connoisseur with the sole purpose of revealing all the amazing adventures of surviving an industry quite indestructible as a whole.
Godzilla.
Good morning, Mother Earth. Okay, I'm testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. I freaking love this new technology. Man, could use some more cowbell, but let's just set the scene up, all right? We're recording, so first a word from our sponsor. Hemp, the weed that keeps on giving. And we're off.
Welcome to Too Hard to Swallow, a pedantic pod presentation. The never-ending story of a misunderstood raconteur. Now on a life-altering adventure, this freak of nature, who along with his faithful compadre, have finally combined their previously oppressed opinion to create a fictional blend of non-fiction, an intelligent expose, exposing the previously unexposed. The story of a corruptible system that controls the very forks that we stuff in our mouths and the questionable nourishment that we partake in for the sheer social pleasures of dining out. A mammoth food, beverage, and service industry that, unless covertly supervised, will leave the bitter tastes of deceit and eventual proof that all is not well behind the walls of Hell's Kitchen.
But more so, here lies a state of fear and desperation that continues to rapidly grow, growing within the ranks of the untrained, ignorantly scrupled retail sheep in a losing war that we, the sacrificial pawns, blindly support, and that the majority of the mom-and-pop diners and dives will just simply disappear under a desperately debilitating mountain of debt. It's finally time to simply spill the rancid beans in a podcast doing business as Dr. Daddy.
Dr. Daddy, an overripe seedling of old Vegas, rumored to have been hatched behind the bar under the blinking glow of a Budweiser sign during happy hour. A night crawler, a restless wandering nomad of neon, surviving within the shade of the light to expose the unwashed hands that prepare the bountiful buffets of Glitter Gulch. Yet, not surprising, due to mitigating circumstances not entirely beyond his control, the doctor was forced to flee the city of sin under the dark of the sun, with just an overpacked Samsonite of guilt, cynicism, sarcasm, and most importantly, the sweet intake of life-supporting deep breaths.
Now, only by sheer luck, the doctor is sequestered comfortably within the headquarters of Mother Earth. Mother Earth, a savage protector of the healthy life, a card-carrying professional skeptic, and the godless entity that protects our culinary commandments, and in turn becomes the missing link that magically maintains the simple arterial flow to the still beating heart of the desperately deranged doctor's explosive blog. thus placing his controlled, well-established world in great danger, not only by exposing the massive fuck-ups of a multi-trillion-dollar-a-year Goliath, but by multitasking with a virtual carnival geek that continues to take desperate risks and seeks to lessen the guilt selfishly fed by a lifetime of having to relive his own hypocritical crimes, abruptly aborted as a normal fetus and virtually tit-fed by the evil industry itself. The Doctor finally, facing some redemption, manages to gather a plethora of extremely dangerous data, hence giving Mother the necessary damning evidence to produce a podcast, one that is destined to reveal a cleverly disguised destructive path that, once exposed, will rattle the very bones of the food and beverage mafia, and we shall call it Too Hard to Swallow.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down, when you're strange. Faces come out of the rain. No one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange.
Greetings, Earthlings.
This is Too Hard to Swallow, a mega expose on the distasteful truths we find each day at the vector of food, beverage, music, and the social ramifications thereof.
Are you going to put that in your mouth? Seriously? Are you going to swallow that?
Welcome to our Virgin episode. Introducing your friend and mine, Dr. Daddy, and the lovely Mother Earth. This episode, we espouse our mission statement, then send the doctor south of the border.
Too Hard to Swallow, a savagely embellished tale that will reveal the countless unseen dining disasters that are more concerned with the bottom line than what flows through your intestines, while lifting the rock and bearing the ignorant, inept abilities of the overwhelmed, undertrained, paranoid consumer turned entrepreneur.
I mean, why the fuck not, Anthony? Mom does make a molto buono spaghetti sauce. And what harm could happen if we just got a second mortgage on our little casa here to get this ensuing successful enterprise started, eh?
Meanwhile, disguised as Clark, got a little carried away.
He?
Me?
Silently slithers amidst the dark, unclean corners of an industry that works hard to maintain its sparkling clean reputation as the godlike overseer of the unseen, the bureaucratic con artist that pisses graft and shits corruption. In this episode, the Doctor is en route to receive possibly one of the industry's greatest fears, a holy testament, the insidiously, delightfully damaging truth that will hopefully expose an infinite amount of health department inspector payoffs, while the industry's powers that be turn a corrupt head and a blind eye to the harmful preparations, storage, and perishables that abound while continuing to place the helpless, hapless diner in the direst of dilemmas. Daddy's destination tonight is an off-the-beaten-path neighborhood cantina with a seriously questionable perfect health rating, A+ at that. Yet, with the greed of a food and beverage double agent, the Doctor hopes to prove otherwise. In this scene, we catch up with the Doctor closing in on his clandestine rendezvous and his numerous attempts to contact Mother Earth in providing the necessary protection that has saved our hero's miserable ass too many times to count, and in controlling the Doctor's futile, fatal flaw in revealing his obvious distaste of the very industry that once allowed him to profit handsomely from the constant growing majority of public ignorance, while this fading facade of good tastes, along with the obvious fuck-ups, past and present, has finally led to a life-changing epiphany that pressures the Doctor to expose the overpriced rampant waste, while exposing the dark, destructive underbelly of the food, beverage, and service industries, unprepared, undermanned, overworked soldiers of misfortune.
Mother Earth, come in. Mother, are you there? I know with that Neanderthal phone system you use, you're able to screen your calls. So please pick up the fucking phone, you miserable shut-in.
Mother Earth here, Daddy. What's the plan, secret agent man?
Okay, I'm 5 minutos from the site. I want to know what measures are in place to cover my crazy ass, you worthless scoundrel.
Easy, sailor. All measures are in place, that's all I can say. If threatened, we'll schlep your ass out of there faster than you can say, "Schlep my ass out of here."
Okay, Mother. I'm in. I'll talk to you later. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Oh, Christ. What's wrong? Where? Oh, no. Am I serious?
Well, well. Good morning, sunshine. I'm glad I didn't have to put a mirror under your nose to see if you were still breathing.
Satan? Is that you?
All right, I will not stand for any senseless sarcasm, so as I turn the other cheek, I'm going to be forgiving and in turn give you a brief chance to get into a kinder funk.
Mother! Why, bless you with all that is unholy. I assume hooking me up to a morphine drip in haste? Ah, God. Where's the self-medicating nurse with the happy ending?
Settle down, Kemosabe. The posse has already delivered your medication. The nightstand next to you? Something these tiresome yet surprisingly consistent set of dreadful circumstances don't deserve.
Look who brought me a candy. A mooser, a tui, and a bird, so it's true what they say. Time loves a hero. Now get over here, you lovable lug, and give me a tongue kiss.
Just catch your breath, you freaking psycho, and fill me in on last night's sordid escapades. As usual, we happen to know the ending, and guess who doesn't?
Just stop sugarcoating it, Mother. I'll get to it. Just give me a minute. Cool? Okay. It was a dark and stormy night. Oh, shit, my head. Okay, Mother. Okay, please. Drop the decibels and I'll confess.
Confess! 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 I confess! Not you!
Well, as soon as I walked into this dive, I smelled a strong stench of trouble in the air. And as if actually expecting me, all conversation ceased and virtually every head turned and faced me. Nice, huh? I've just had this bad feeling all day that all was not well in paradise. And, I mean, really, was it just my own paranoia rearing its ugly head? Well. Oh, and speaking of ugly heads, I easily spy my so-called inconspicuous connection at the bar. Glow-in-the-dark stocking cap, wrap-around mirrored shades, several hundred facial and nose piercings, all the while looking as excited as Charlie Manson on a successful date, and freaking waving at me like it's the fucking Macy's Day Parade. Shit. I mean, trust me when I say this is quickly becoming a bad day at Black Rock. I mean, suddenly, my life is a passing film, a quick flashback from the previous. Once a rising star, the young future entrepreneur on top of the world, I had it all before the fall. My soon-to-be fading reputation is thankfully still intact. And as I saunter to my obvious destruction, I ascertain that there are at least, 3 to 4 shots lined up for me at my spot at the bar. Jesus. Considering I just made waste of a massive joint containing the killer kind that dreams are made of, accompanied by a false sense of security with a large dash of stupidity, I greedily pounce on the shooters that hit me like a freight train, producing a shitload of blind faith, fear, and impending bad mojo as I drop to the stool, waiting for the red dots to be unfashionably added to my faded torn denim shirt. So, comfortably anesthetized, I can only wait for the inevitable painless headshot. And thankfully, the only physical assault to appear is the aggressive 5-part hand-slapping from my new partner in crime, and an occasional nod from a few scattered bud and budettes, soon to become the audience and possible witnesses of my pending assassination. What does follow will be written as it unfolds, and to quote the endearing words, he who makes a beast of himself rids the pain of being a man. Then something happened. The room seemed darkened, and the air went still. And the next thing I remember, I'm screaming obscenities regarding the true cleanliness of this overpriced, overrated taco factory. And I'm beginning to hear loud voices as I'm literally entering their kitchen, veering immediately towards their walk-in while grumbling quite loudly regarding the 10,000 health violations I'm able to point out when all went black. And the next thing you know, I'm back. Here. I mean, Mother, what went wrong?
Find Too Hard to Swallow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, www.toohardtoswallow.com. Send your accolades and condemnations to toohardtoswallow@gmail.com. Next episode, the doctor is on the mend, plus Restauronics 101, the bitter taste, how not to open a restaurant. Here's hoping every bite is a tasty groove and every drink a sultry song. Bye.